Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Well, what have we here?
It's a podcast.
Fine.
And what excitement we have today.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara and Robb Spiewak. And now, here's Robb.
Now, when you hear that, son, do you think of yourself as well since you've ditched the name Robert?
Nah, I did put in the StreamYard Robert today to clear up confusion for Josh. So.
Yeah, I appreciate that very much. Welcome to the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike is taking a day today, but we're still here with you with a wonderful show. Josh Soroka, our producer, and my son, Robert W. Spiewak III from West Virginia, which is exciting. You just got internet up there, and I know that you're able to do it.
And no power yet.
No.
Based on the lights being out.
Well, there was one really glaring light, and so I went with the sexy lighting instead. So.
Okay. Well, I have my flashlight sticking up on my desk right now, so hopefully this is good.
Yeah, we all have different things at our desk. I have my blowtorch. Robert has his flashlight. We're all good. So how is it up in WVU today? It's got to be freezing, right?
Yeah, it's been good. I'm mad at you because you made me wake up super early for this. But.
Listen, I don't set the start time of the show. Be mad at the listeners.
Okay.
That's it, listeners. My son hates you. I love you, but my son hates you.
And don't you have a class or something to get to anyway?
Yeah, no, I have a class at 11:30, and then I have a little esports table event at the Mountain Lair, which is like our student commons.
Right.
So very exciting day.
What
Not
class
really.
did you schedule right in the middle of The Price is Right?
It's like my advanced social media class. I'm not really a fan of it, but I like my professor and I like my classmates. So
Good. Well, that's good anyway, because you were just home, and then you went back to take a class, and you'll be home in another week for spring break. Is that it?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think my spring break's like the week of the 23rd. So I'll come home, work, earn some money.
Yeah, I see a lot of engaging in the refrigerator work.
Yeah.
Depending, will you sub? Is that what you do? You'll substitute teach?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I know Mom sort of got you into that, and she's not subtle about reminding you to substitute teach.
No, she's not.
How is substitute teaching? Because, I can't. It seems to me just yesterday, I hate to sound like an old man, or your old man, but just yesterday you were going to high school and now you're subbing at high school. What is that like when you come in? Because you don't look that much older than the students.
Well, so this week in particular, I was subbing for freshman French class because I know so much about French.
You took several languages, none of which were French.
Yeah, I took Spanish and German, but on the
English. You're very good, fluent in English.
Yeah. No, but I did feel really
nice.
old this time when I was subbing because the class was freshmen, and on the attendance sheet it says all their birthdays, and the kids that are freshmen in high school are born 2010, 2011, which
God.
made me I thought was crazy. They were talking about Call of Duty, and none of them were even alive for when Modern Warfare 2 came out, which I thought was crazy. And
I feel you. Rob, a few weeks ago, we talked about my softball team.
Yes.
This week I had to sign the little waiver sheet.
Yes.
And I saw everyone's birth date. And mine was the only one that had an 8 as the year. Everyone else was born in the 90s.
I was hoping that when they presented you with the waiver, it was like a special old man waiver. Or no, you got to sign the same waiver as everyone else?
Yeah, so it had everyone's birth date. And I look, and they're all 90s, 95,
It would
98.
make me nuts. I can't, because Robert, you're 2002, right?
yeah.
And Julia is a 2000 baby. So
Yeah.
you're an old man. How's the
I
back?
know. Yeah,
How's
so
the
that
knees?
good. Yeah, I'm feeling good. But yeah, subbing's been good. It's easy money, and it's
What is your tact when you go in? I'm curious because I remember getting subs in high school, and we had the same rotating staff of substitute teachers at James Madison High School back in the late 80s. And so I got to know them and play them a little bit. Like there was one guy that used to be in the military. I can't think of his name, but if you asked him about time in the service, then all you had to do was sit back and wait for 50 minutes because he'd talk.
Yeah.
And, you get to. So, A, do the students play you at all? Or B, how do you introduce yourself to command respect? Because everyone sees a sub as like a day off. Mm-hmm. So how do you do it?
Surprisingly, I've been like treated with a lot of respect, honestly. Like I when I first started, I was concerned, like you said, like I'd come in, they'd see a young sub and they'd see me as like easy pickings, like just give me hell for an hour.
If you think you're being respected, I think you're being played and don't understand it.
Yeah, I think that could be the case.
That's true. No, but the kids get their work done. It's not often that the teachers leave like assignments for them, so most of the time it's just keeping them quiet. So
yeah,
I mean, I don't have a problem if they're on their phones because I'm just on my computer doing like schoolwork. But it's pretty.
You should airdrop the entire class like a message, like "How's it going?"
I should. When I do sign up for jobs, though, whenever I can, I try and get the like TA positions because those are super easy. Because then I'm in the classroom like with the actual teacher, but since I'm subbing for the TA, they don't expect anything from me.
Teaching assistant, right?
Yeah, so I just sit them and pass out papers when they need, and those are the easiest days. But they go like the days are so long. That's the worst part.
Josh, when you would get a substitute teacher, would they ever roll in? Were you? I hate to even ask this question. Are you old enough that they still showed films on projectors?
In elementary school, yes, and then it moved to the VHS.
Okay, so it's a big deal. I remember the beginning of high school rolling in a projector, later on in high school rolling in like a VHS, VCR on the huge rack with the big 400-pound, 27-inch cathode tube on top. What do you show videos, and if so, how do they do? Do they show them on the Promethean board?
Yeah, we just have the Promethean boards, and then
explain what that is to people.
It's like a big smart screen. It's just like it looks like a big whiteboard, but it's a projector. So like you can draw
onto a whiteboard.
Yeah.
But Promethean sounds so much more impressive than projector.
Yeah. So sometimes I just have to like connect to it with like an HDMI, and I'll play the video, because if the teachers do leave assignments, they'll send me an email, or the front office, if there's like something they need us to play for announcements, they send it in an email and I just connect my laptop and play it.
It's amazing that they've turned the school into sort of a B+ graded podcast studio where you can have the job, but you have to bring your own cables.
Yeah.
And telling you to play a video off your own computer, that's dangerous.
That's true.
What would be the worst thing you could show, Rob? Don't answer that.
Yeah, I don't want to answer
that. Do not answer that. Do not answer that. Well, anyway, it is such a pleasure to have you here. I'm very proud of you up there, and I know you'll be home before we know it, but also it's a big deal when you take the time out of your day to come on you are so not worked up by doing the show. It's just like, I'll do it. Your biggest problem is getting up in the morning. When I ask, I mean, he didn't even ask the day, Josh, when I asked if he could fill in. He just said, what time does it start?
Yeah. Wonderful college schedule when your first class is 11:30.
Exactly. I was wondering, and I may have asked you this in a show past, but you have been around being on the radio for so long, and I mean, the last part of the most recent thing in your life is your dad's on the radio in the basement. So it's like all the magic is gone. I can remember you running around WJFK without a care in the world. I can remember you playing with the studio webcam at KCJJ when they were on automation, and Steve started getting messages, why are there children in your studio? You never had any sort of hesitance to do it. Do you like doing it, or do you do it because you're helping me out, which you are, but what's it like?
Both. I mean, especially after going to Vegas this year, like, and meeting a lot of the diehard like listeners. I mean, everyone is so nice, and it's such a good community. And I think it's really cool, like, how many people know me just through you, like seeing me grow up. So I don't have to worry about that small talk really with you guys because
that is so cool.
Everyone's already filled in. So I'm just like, I'm chatting.
Yeah,
it took
listeners
to
are great.
Vegas.
Yeah,
Vegas is where you realize that people actually listen to your dad.
Yeah. And they like pay attention too, which is crazy.
It's very different than the home life. Did you think for years, Mythical, that like nobody was listening and that I was just talking into a computer in my basement? Or did it come as a realization that there were some people that actually took advantage of it?
No, I think I always knew that there was a good amount of people, because even when I was a kid and you were at was it KCJJ? No, that's or KCJJ,
and then WJFK in Fairfax, right?
Yeah, like you're always doing it. So the fact that you never really stopped in all these years, like, shows that, like, people actually do care and they are listening. So
Just like we practice it. Good job, son. So this past weekend, you came home, and Mike was kind enough to let me save this content for this show. And I really look forward to Josh's reaction to the fact that our entire family.
I believe Mike turned this story down, and Katie turned this story down, and here we are.
I didn't ask them to turn it down. I asked them to hold it.
I know.
But so for Christmas, my wife, Carrie, got me tickets to see this Elvis impersonator, DEAN Z, and it was 5 tickets. So it was me, my wife.
This was a Christmas present?
Christmas present, yeah, and my mom.
Close to your birthday.
It is.
Your birthday's this weekend, right?
It is. Yeah. It's on Saturday. I hope you've, put up the tree and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is this a double present?
No, it was simply a birthday present. Okay. Simply a Christmas present.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the proximity to my birthday was just luck. So the whole family went up, and just in case you want to see the most current picture of our family, folks, here we go. Look at that beautiful family right there. And that, if you look at me, I'm on the far left there. I figured out just the arch in my back so my stomach doesn't look oppressive. You can see the shirt sort of bundling in front of me. Robert, like a male model, and then my 2 best girls in the middle. And
is that a VIP pass or something in your hand?
No, what it is, that's
player's card.
That's my player's card.
Your player's card. Okay, we can get to that later.
We all got player's card because it was like, what, 5? Well, we'll get to it, I promise.
Right, okay, all right, got it. You're at Hollywood Casino.
Right, and what's so funny is that for some reason they still have this Christmas tableau up at the very beginning of March, and it's hashtag all good at Hollywood. So we got the picture taken, and Carrie actually did a fine job of photoshopping the letters out of it. So that will be the Christmas card this year, more than likely. So we all go there, and Charlestown races and slots, I've been going to since I was little because my grandfather was good friends with a horse farm owner, and they would race horses up there. So I'd go up there when I was young, like 6 or 7. Well, now they've opened a full casino, and the track is almost like second tier stuff. So they've got the full casino, and I'd always seen the Charlestown showroom. Now, you'd been to Charlestown before, right, Robert?
Yeah, I've been there twice before the time we went.
In 2015, it was voted, I think, world's stickiest casino, and that's
really
pretty good.
Is that true?
It's not true.
No.
But it is when especially if you get to like a well-worn roulette table and they hand you a stack of 10 chips that come in 3 blocks because they're stuck together. So anyway, it felt pretty clean this night that we went up, this Friday night. And we got our tickets to the showroom. And we went into the showroom, which sits about 1,750, give you an idea of the size. And it is basically a warehouse with chairs set up and a stage at one end. It is not a showroom. It is not a showroom, I promise you. And very narrow folding chairs that can be removed. I guess in case they have the big number 7 dance there. But it's a pretty big venue, not impressive. So we go in, we're back like maybe 30 rows, and this first night, and it's mind-blowing. The people and Robert, correct me as I go, but when we sit down, there is a palpable excitement in the room. There's like an electricity. People are really thrilled to be there. And they're playing music, and they actually threw out something. I just watched the Manchurian Candidate, where the guy is triggered to do things when he sees the Queen of Diamonds. Robert's trigger was when the last song before they brought out the Elvis impersonator was when they sang "Take Me Home, Country Roads."
Yeah.
Now I don't know if that was a Elvis DEAN Z thing, knowing that the crowd would love that. It could be a Charlestown thing because it was a genuine sing-along with people standing up.
It was a Charlestown thing.
You think it was a Charlestown thing?
Yes, you're in West Virginia.
Well, I know, but
course.
maybe. What do you think? Do you think they play it before every show, Robert?
I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty interactive song in general.
Yeah,
but,
and
we were in West Virginia, though, so that makes the most sense.
I don't think it goes over so well in Boise.
Yeah, but I'm saying he would do it just for that night. Maybe if he plays Boise, there's an Idaho song.
No, every 6 months when he's back at Hollywood Casino, he plays this song.
Okay, well, I'm glad we got it cleared up. And we had some very enthusiastic, drunken Elvis fans right behind us. And they were ready to go before the show began. They would say, like, the record would go, Almost Heaven. And they behind us go, where? West Virginia. And they were doing like interactive stuff with the song. So they'd seen it before. Then the lights go dark, absolutely dark. And they run this great video about how Elvis, is 1956 and all the instrumentation on the stage is real. And they really lay it down. And he comes out and he's like 1956 Elvis. This is the first act, and he's got on a pink jacket, and he does all the moves and everything. And I had seen the guy on video, but what they put out on video is what they put out. I was anxious to see what it was really like, and my jaw hit the floor because he came out, and Robert, agree with me or disagree, I got to know, he became Elvis Presley out there. He came out, he looked like him, he sounds like him, he dances like him, he does all the moves. And what was your reaction when you first saw him come out?
I really wasn't expecting much. I've never been to one of these.
I could tell on the mood on the ride up was definitely a bit,
yeah,
we're doing this for Dad.
Yeah. But yeah, I wasn't expecting much, but we were far enough away to where he looked like Elvis, and he was performing like I feel like Elvis would perform. Mm-hmm. And it was pretty cool for me because my dad's such a big fan. So I've been literally grown up my entire life, like seeing Elvis, watching him, hearing Elvis.
Right, you had no choice but to know the songs.
Yeah, exactly. So like seeing it like an impersonator, and then someone that I felt was pretty like really good.
He was
like as an impersonator. It was kind of surreal, like seeing Elvis. Like
it
like
was
that.
a little surreal because even at the very beginning, this I don't get. Unless they are so into it or they want to really help the experience, right away, women start approaching the stage to get kisses and scarves. Like in the second song, which was a big part of the Elvis show.
Did that make it tough for you to get up to the front?
Everyone told me to do it. I did not do it.
A big thing that you're leaving out is that besides Julie and I, the third youngest person in the room was my dad.
That's right.
Everyone else was at least 65 plus.
It was.
They all saw the real Elvis.
Probably.
Yeah. But the old lady next to me, though, when he started, like, people started going up, I've never seen an old lady get up so fast and squeeze through.
Yeah, she had to
really
go through
cramped
like 11
aisles.
seats.
Yeah.
Had to get by, but she got up there. And I'm thinking, this is the first time I'm seeing this happen in a big way. I'm thinking, COVID's not entirely over, right? Because he's down there literally laying on the stage kissing every woman that comes up and shaking hands of the gentleman. But it was effective, and it made it like that, like you were at an Elvis show.
It was seriously like 60 plus people like that went up. It went on like too long.
It was. The band had to keep vamping.
Well, they got to get enough to kill one person every show.
Yeah.
That's a success.
Some of the people he was saying the ages for, I think there was like a 98-year-old.
Oh, there was
and
102.
Like
there was 102
102
in a wheelchair. It was great. And keep in mind, that means she was old when Elvis was young. That's old. 100 is old. So this goes on, and then they do a little scene change. I will give him an A+ on his audio-video presentation because there was a big screen behind him that when he went back for a costume change, they would run like a video saying what's going on in history. And so he came out, the next costume he came out in was...
Are you going to show us some video?
I am right now, as a matter of fact.
Oh, okay.
I was a little too overwhelmed at the first part of the show to grab video. But this is when he comes out in his 1968 comeback special, the leather outfit. And what's amazing is watch the screen behind him while you're listening to it, because the sound is what's key. Great band, great voice. But he's actually mimicking Elvis on the screen, but he's singing live.
You mess around.
And they've got the big Elvis letters. And for a while, the showroom actually felt like a showroom.
Anything with a full band like that's going to be impressive and fun.
Yeah,
no matter what.
The band was great. I was really happy that they had the horns.
Yeah, I think they were called the Big Town Horns. There was three of
something
them.
like that.
and trumpet, sax, and trombone, and the sax guy doubled on flute, just so you know, because you need flute in 2 Elvis songs. But it was that was really cool for me. But then this is when I may or may not have gotten a little misty in my eyes. And I hate to say this because it makes me look like such the Elvis person that I am.
Robert, you should have been videotaping your dad during all of this.
I honest swear to God, I was trying to, but it was too dark in the room because we were in a group of 5. So my dad was down here, and then it was Julia, Shay Show, my mom, and then me. So
Shay Show is my
too
mother.
far away.
Yeah, Sharon.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's fine. So then he comes out, and this was, of course, if you saw the Elvis movie a couple of years ago, this was a big moment, is when he sings If I Can Dream. And he's in a white 2-piece suit with a little kerchief and everything. But again, he has every mannerism down. Listen to him and look at him, but also see the screen behind him. He's doing everything exactly right. Isn't that wild?
So he has studied Elvis's every little move.
Down to the point of he changed microphones with every era. And I thought I'd be the only one that noticed that, but Robert asked me about that after the show. I was so proud.
And I was
really
also impressed with that video with how many old people know how to use their phone.
They do.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people
So many phones out.
At one point,
Everyone was so zoomed in.
yeah, but at one point, he asked everyone to turn on their flashlights. I think it was during Love Me Tender. No,
Yeah,
Memories.
Yeah, because
Memories.
we can't do the lighters anymore.
No, we can't do the lighters anymore. But this is what's building up to the exciting thing is the 1970s Elvis, my favorite era of Elvis. So he finishes this, he runs backstage to do his costume change, and I'll call it a jumpsuit change. He puts on a onesie, and his backup singers do a really cringe version of, Lady Marmalade. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir, the old disco song. That was a little tough to get through. But then they start playing the 2001 music. I played a bit of this yesterday, so I forgive you for the repeat. But this is his entrance as 1970s Elvis. And if I were to ask, I would say probably 1972. Elvis, if you don't know, always started his concerts with the 2001 music. And so you've got the lights going on, the full band, and a very impressive drummer because he doesn't use a double bass on this. So, the drums begin. Now, Julia taped this because if it had been me, I would have dropped the phone. I was just so enraptured and captured by this, something I'd never seen before. I'd never heard this played with real horns. I've never seen a real jumpsuit backlit, so he sparkled. This has to be what it looked like when Elvis came out on stage. And by the way, he's wearing the, that's known as the eyelet jumpsuit, if you want to know. All right, I won't trouble you with any more of that, but it was astounding. Now, Robert, you know that's my favorite era of Elvis. When he makes the grand entrance, shining like a Greek god, you'll excuse the expression. Were you impressed with him, or were you still at the point where Dad's an idiot?
No, I was really impressed. I mean, I told you afterward, I was super enthusiastic about the whole event. I thought it was so fun, and to finally see that in person, although as an impersonator, was really cool. And he played all the songs that I knew. I feel like I knew every song, and
he had a great
played
set
songs
list,
that I wanted to hear too.
The one surprise, if anyone goes to see him, he does a version of Kentucky Rain that'll blow your mind, and that's not a typical live song. He didn't do any. This surprised me, Josh, and as a producer, this will drive you nuts. No merch. There was no Elvis merch.
Do you think he's not allowed to?
Maybe that's the case because he had so much money.
But there should be. You would think he would be at least selling like his own name on a shirt written in Elvis letters.
Yeah, or a scarf,
Or
one of his
something.
golden scarves or something. So there was none of that. There was no meet and greet afterwards. Damn it. But he did say we might find him at the craps tables. So we went off.
And did
you? We did
No.
not, but I looked.
Okay. How many? All right, all the people there.
Yeah.
It looks like a fun time just because I'd be into it just because of the live band. Alone.
Yeah, and you'd
I
love
don't
the
care what
audio.
they
You
play.
would.
Yeah.
You would.
And
yeah.
it sounds great for even those cell phone videos. How many people did you show your tattoo to?
Ooh.
I don't think I showed it to, I think, one lady. And
Oh, see,
but,
I didn't even know that.
but it wasn't the first night because after. Now, this I didn't tell you, Josh, is after
Wait,
we
you
saw
went
the
2
show
nights?
and we gambled for about a few hours, got home probably about 1 a.m. I was tired, but I went to my computer and I bought a ticket for the second night.
Wait,
just
one
one
single
ticket.
ticket? So you
One
went all by
single
yourself?
ticket, yeah, 4th row. And so it was not cheap.
4th row, then you don't even have to push your way to the front for the kisses.
I was
No,
just about to say, yeah.
He could blow it to me.
Quicker route.
But it was so weird when I go on to, it was through Ticketmaster, which is a
Okay.
really big outfit.
Yeah, that
and
means you gave them about $45 in fees.
oh, the fees were almost as much as the ticket. But when I clicked on it, it said hot ticket. And I'm thinking, when is an Elvis impersonator at a casino a hot ticket? But there was only like 6 tickets available. So he did a virtual sellout the first night, absolute sellout the second night. So the second night I get there by myself.
Right.
And that's
And
the
you're
one
you're a lot closer to the stage.
Much
which means
closer.
Much
So what-
more eyes on him.
when I got down to the seat, I sat down next to the old lady, and I don't know if you're familiar with the smell of red wine, but there's a very special kind of red wine that's casino red wine.
Okay.
And it really, really smells like red wine. And I sat down between the old lady and an old man, no relation, and I was in a cloud of red wineitude. They were so ready to have a good time. And the lady, I finally struck up a conversation, but she was at the exact pitch where I couldn't hear a thing she said, that sort of middle female voice pitch, and my hearing is gone. So I looked at her, I said, have you ever seen him before? And she looks at me, and this is what I hear. Graceland. And I'm like, terrific. And she asked me a couple other things, and then I show her my tattoo. She's the lucky one. And then she said,
She showed you hers.
no, not get arrested. So it was she would only show it to Dean Z, I'm sure. So she says, as this is my daughter. And next to her is, I'm not going to shame anybody, but this was a stately woman and Zoftic, if you will, tall. And she was the big Elvis fan. I was able to get out of the mother. She says, I'll go anywhere if there's drinking. So what happened is the daughter had talked her in to go to the casino to see Elvis, but only for the free drinks. Now, the second night, he wore a light blue jacket in the first act, and his jumpsuit was the turquoise vine jumpsuit, which was gorgeous. Anyhow, what surprised me is even though his set list was identical both nights, his stage patter was different the second night. He's like doing a real show and reacting to the crowds. Some of his stuff sounded really pat and practiced in the first show, Robert, like you sort of going through the motions. I
Yeah,
think.
like a script.
Yeah, but he had a louder, drunker audience Saturday night, and it was even a better show. So yes, I did go see an Elvis impersonator twice in a night. Yes, I brought my kids. Yes, they were hesitant at the front of it, but yes, they both left satisfied. And my mom was maybe the most excited of all because she grew up being an Elvis fan.
Any
So-
thoughts of taking her the second night?
It was too expensive to go to 2 people on the second night.
Any disappointment once you got closer to the stage for that second night?
Actually, no. Everything about him is just about spot on. He looks the most like Elvis in profile. His eyes aren't quite exactly right, but I think he also trowels on a lot of makeup. One of my mom's comments was, I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way, but he's the right color. And I said, you mean like he's white?
You have to take her now to Clownvis.
She said, no, he's got Elvis's complexion. The color of his skin is right. I said, oh, wow. Okay. So that's the makeup he chose.
Do any of these Elvis impersonators, they get really into it in almost a creepy way. Do they go and get any surgery?
Oh, I know that. I
Transplants,
can guarantee you that the guy that opened for us at our first state theater show, he definitely had his nose done. I had seen him before, Michael Hoover. He's more of a local Elvis impersonator to this area. He plays the Eastern Shore a lot. And when we had him at the State Theater, he had actually toured and opened with Roseanne. That was his big break back in the 80s. He definitely had his nose done because Elvis's nose is really particularly straight, and I could tell that. This guy didn't look any surgery. I did really wonder if it was really his hair or not because it looked like Elvis hair, but it changed through the show. So I imagine there's a series of expensive wigs.
It would be fun to go out to the crap stable afterwards and see him just sitting there bald.
Wouldn't it be great? Yeah, with a beanie.
And some sweats with a beanie.
That's why we didn't see him.
I was not
He's
looking
just undercover.
for the right person. I am trying to get him on for a TMOS extra because I have
That'd be wonderful.
Plenty questions for this guy. What was nice about him is some people try to go up there and like say they're Elvis Presley. And we hope we're all going to have a good time tonight. My name is Elvis. But he was all about a guy being Elvis Presley. He came up and he said, my name is DEAN Z. Like you, I'm a big Elvis fan. And so in the in-between talks, he wasn't trying to be Elvis. But I think in the song, he was portraying Elvis. I saw no evidence of a prescription drug habit. But this is it. I have to say it. And Mike said that this is so typical of me and predictable. 10 out of 10. I give that show as far as entertainment and his Elvis ability and everything about it. It was great. And Robert, you can probably not give it a 10. What would you rate it?
I would rate it high. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, I had way more fun than I thought it was going to be, and I think that's what concerts are all about.
Now,
So
do you have to? I mean, you've seen some pretty good ones. Did you sort of go in with a suspension of disbelief in your head, like, okay, we're just going to get through this, or did he sort of suck you in?
he kind of sucked me in, honestly, because when it started, I think it was like about 2.5 hours, but I was like, oh my God, like how could he possibly be performing for 2.5 hours for this many old people? But
yeah, exactly.
I mean, it was engaging, and
I would like to see that on his poster. Engaging, thrilling, and tricky.
No, you didn't talk about it too, but the house was really good too, like with the lights and the sound and everything.
It was amazing. I mean, the fact that it was what is is it the Baltimore Coliseum? Is that the venue downtown in Baltimore, Josh?
The Hippodrome?
Maybe, but
The
that's
Lyric?
Is that where we saw Stevie?
Yeah, we saw Stevie Wonder at a theater in Baltimore that was also just a box. I think that they used to play basketball in this
that
arena.
would be probably the old Royal Farms Arena. I don't know
that's
what
it.
it's called.
That's exactly what it is. As a matter of
Yeah, I
fact,
know
they
it's a
still
different
they had some Royal Farms chairs, but not the name. But it amazes me that they can put on a show in a box like that, literally a black box of chairs, and make it sound astounding, which it did. And I was in 2 different places in the theater, and both places were sweet spots, so it was good.
Yeah, I was invited. The Baltimore Blast played in the Baltimore Arena for a long time. And I got invited because of my Baltimore sports podcast to come visit the Blast and get behind the scenes and everything. And they gave me a pass that would let me go anywhere in the arena.
Oh, that's so cool.
And we realized we're watching the game, and we realized, well, there's no one on the upper levels. So we go, well, let's find our way up to the upper levels.
Sure.
The upper levels, the seats were like just broken, cracked. I don't
Crumbling.
think they let anyone in they were crumbled. You could not sit in them. It was so. I know they've renovated it since then.
I've seen 2 concerts there now. Most notably, Robert and I went and saw Stevie Wonder there, and it was great. And I think
that one was really good.
I think they've renovated it since then. People still say they
Stevie
hear me.
didn't mind what it looked like.
They told him it was beautiful.
Yeah.
They told him he was playing Camden Yards.
Yes.
People still say, employees at that theater still say, in the rafters at night, you can hear the echoes of me screaming like Flanders when Stevie took out his harmonica. Just showbiz legends. Showbiz legends. But yeah.
That's fine. At least it's the real guy.
Yeah, it was.
Yes,
For an
that's
impersonator.
true.
We after the show, we did, I'd say, a decent amount of gambling. Maybe not Las Vegas style gambling like we did out at the downtown Grand, but we did some gambling, and we will talk about that when we return. But we got to do we're going to do news first and talk about all these good things. But Robert, thank you for doing the show today, but excessive thank you for at least making me think you liked the Elvis impersonator. I really, really appreciate it.
No, I actually did. Yeah, I really did like it.
Did you pretend to want to go the second night?
No, I found out he was
on.
Yeah, I was watching wrestling, and John Cena's bad guy now blew my mind.
He's a heel.
Yeah.
You should cover that on your sports podcast. John Cena
drop.
going heel.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
it's
I
a
like
big
it.
deal.
I like John Cena heel.
I do.
Yeah,
too.
me too. I do too.
Anyway, so that's that. We'll talk gambling, but first we're gonna do we'll do the news here, and we'll be right back. True story though, Robert was so effusively happy when the concert was over. I really thought he was making fun of me. Took me a while to believe he had a good time. But thank you, Dean Z. Please come on our show. We appreciate it, and we'll be back on the Michael Mara Show. I hate garbage, Robert, but I love rubbish. What's that you say? Shut up. Let me explain. Rubbish is a brand that makes the ultimate garbage bags. Compostable, non-toxic, PFA's free, so you can take out the trash, and you'll do that 8,000 times in your life. That's a lot, with bags that actually give back. They donate 10% to charity and include a fresh, funny saying in every box, which actually I think is pretty cool. You get a joke when you get to change your trash. So instead of wasting, all this time on money, and I'm sorry about the noise there, loose cord. Instead of wasting $20 on a TV streaming service that won't even let you rent new movies, you could spend way less on top-tier trash bags with built-in comedy. This is an easy choice to make trash day suck less.
I just like that they show up to my door. Because there's nothing worse than realizing you're out of trash bags.
It is bad. It is bad. And now they're so good. Robert loves taking the trash out when he comes home.
Mm-hmm.
That's
why excited. I come home.
Yeah. He said, Dad, please, can I take out the trash? I said,
save it for me. Don't do it, please.
We have like 5 bags in the kitchen. So he's like Dean Z. He says, please, I want to come home. I want to see Dean Z, but please let me take out the trash. Please. Right now is the time to do it because you deserve the best garbage bags money can buy. So Rubbish created them. Rubbish is running a 30% off sale, and you can get an extra 5% off by going to rubbishhome.com and using code TMOS. That's an extra 5% off for a total of 35% off your order if you go to rubbishhome.com and use our code TMOS. And remember, that's rubbish with 2 B's. All right, news and bad news. There's some crises going on, Josh. George and Amal Clooney, are they divorcing? Could this be?
And am I the idiot that didn't know George Clooney was married?
Oh, yeah, it was a big
I don't
deal.
think I did either.
I thought he was like a bachelor forever.
For life? No,
Yeah.
he married this gal. It's a big deal. She's 47. He's 63. Still stunning. Both of them. And she was a scientist, or she was something. She wasn't showbiz. She's a very brilliant woman, and it was an unexpected marriage, I think.
A law professor at Columbia Law School.
But according to tabloid rumors, George and Amal are headed for trial separation. So it's the storm before the storm. So as far as that, he is apart from her right now on Broadway, preparing for his debut in a stage adaptation of his movie Good Night and Good Luck, which was a good movie. I think it'll make a fine stage play.
So he's not really going through a divorce. He just wants to promote this stage play.
You know what?
That makes sense.
I love that Josh has become so absolutely cynical that he
it's in
sees
the
through it all.
copy. As you're closing, you're saying, but that's on the back burner because he's got this other thing going on.
Yeah.
That's true. They have 7-year-old twins. Did you know this? Yeah. I wonder if one of them is going to be like really, really good looking, and one will just be, oh, that's George Clooney's kid. Was he adopted?
You are blowing my mind now that he has kids.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I don't think he lets kids get in the way of him being George Clooney. Don't you feel that being George Clooney is sort of a full-time job? Because you've been like the set example of a good-looking guy for 30 years now. So that's got to be tough to be that handsome. I can't relate.
That kid's going to fly through college.
Now, Robert, you're going to love this. Steve Carell, good guy, right?
Yeah.
He has partnered up with a Virginia charity called, what is it called? Alice's Kids. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this charity was established by Patton Oswalt. And what they've done is they're going to help, even though they're based in Virginia, they're helping kids that were affected by the wildfires in California. So courtesy of Alice's Kids, Steve Carell put out a video, and I'm going to read it, and I think Robert will enjoy it because he enjoys the comedy of Steve Carell. It says, attention, all seniors. This is Steve Carell with a very special announcement. I will work with a wonderful charity based out of Virginia called Alice's Kids, and they wanted me to let you know that they'll be paying for all your prom tickets. And if you already have paid for your prom tickets, they will reimburse you for your prom tickets. It's a pretty good deal, so have fun, enjoy the prom, and remember, this is Steve Carell. So he's paying for an entire senior class. Well, the charity is paying for an entire senior class to go to prom. I think that's nice.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Robert, did you go to senior prom, or was there no prom because of the COVID?
We didn't have a prom because of COVID, but we had like a big bus. Then when we went to DC and did the pictures and everything, and just had like a big party afterwards.
Because you can't get COVID on a bus?
That's true. Nah, at this point, like everything was dying down. But school wasn't going on. Like they couldn't have an event like that.
And all your friends got together and put on your pointy shoes and you went down. Didn't you find a good-looking girl to get your picture taken with, even though you weren't dating her down there?
I think they found me. No,
I'm just kidding. Ouch! A zing, zing.
And Alice's Kids, not founded by Patton Oswalt, but he did win $250,000 for them on Celebrity Jeopardy.
See, I knew that he was allied with them somehow, but his daughter is named Alice, and he's a Virginia guy, so I was just guessing. But he grew up in Sterling. Did you know that, Robert?
No, I didn't. I knew he was relatively local, but
Patton has a joke that's going around the socials right now where they said it's just funny, they designed cocktails for each of his wife and him for their wedding, and hers was like a Malibu with a essence of this and a touch of that, and he said, and I'm from Sterling, and the guy said, oh yeah, vodka and lemonade. So that's but what's funny about this, Robert, does this not remind you of Scott's Tots from The Office?
Oh yeah.
Where he said he was going to pay for
a lot smaller of a promise.
That's right. He was going to pay for their college.
Yeah.
So at least he's saving some money now.
Had like 20 kids like dreaming of going to college.
Scott's Tots. I hope this works out. Yes, I think Alice's Kids has a better reputation.
Yeah.
I hope they all show up to prom and it's not paid for.
So Billy Corgan has been in the news more lately than when he was actually a happening rock star. But he has issued a statement, and I'm curious, Robert, you're in a different time zone in your life than I am. Billy Corgan says that the tide is going to turn and people are going to stop hating on Nickelback and Creed. What is sort of the reception that Nickelback and Creed get among college students, Robert?
Especially at West Virginia. I like them both. If it's like 12 a.m. I'm at the bar and that's like going on, like everyone's singing that.
Yeah,
so.
I see it's already turned on Creed.
Yeah.
I see people are celebrating Creed.
Yeah, I like Creed. I don't really listen to Nickelback, but I mean they're not bad. Like they're pretty good.
That's another ringing endorsement. It was engaging.
Yeah.
The Creed song of where he has the kid. I can't think of the name of it. It's talking about being a father. And it came out once without strings and once with strings. But the problem is they released it when Robert was born. And it was really hard for me not to lock in and once again cry, because it was before I was on my meds, because Arms Wide Open. That's what it was called. And that was a special one for me, but it hit me when I was, very vulnerable.
Yeah.
So I'll give it
I have a Ben Folds song that did the same to me when my oldest was born.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very cool. Robert, you'll have to have a song when you have a kid, but please,
Yeah.
not too soon.
Nickelback.
Yeah.
I love Pete Davidson. I love Colin Jost. And I didn't know this. They're fighting right now.
Is it over the ferry? Is that
Part
what
of
they're
it,
fighting over?
Part of it. And it's unclear of what actually caused it. It did sour the ferry deal, though. And, that's the first time over 30
What
years on
ferry
the air.
deal are you talking about?
They got together and bought a Staten Island ferry.
Okay.
One of the
Like
boats that goes from New York
Yeah.
City to
And
Staten
an old
Island.
one that's barely floating.
Yeah, and they were going to turn it into an entertainment center.
Right.
That
There's
was
no
their
way
deal.
they were sober when making this decision.
Yeah, that
No.
sounds like a drunk idea.
That's a script writing at 4 a.m.
Yeah, I do think that one of the problems is that Jost was said to be very, very stoned. That's what Pete Davidson said
No, that
about the
makes
purchase.
sense.
So
and
that
not
might be
Pete.
part of the problem. Yeah, and not Pete, because Pete's
Yeah.
what do you call it, Robert? Straight edge.
Yeah. He's sober.
I'm sure he's straight edge. But to make up with Colin, and this probably has to do with the fact that he's not on Saturday Night Live anymore, so Pete wants to keep his doors open. He gave Colin, I wish Mike was here for this, a $20,000 Cartier watch to say he's sorry, which is probably about what they paid for the ferry, isn't it?
Yeah.
And pocket change for Colin's wife.
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot. Yeah,
You
yeah.
really got to play
He's
up.
married to like Scarlett Johansson, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I
Must-
just found that out when they did the swapping of the jokes that they do on
Yes.
SNL.
Yes.
Yeah, like around Christmas usually. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's must be nice to be Colin Jost. He's
Yeah.
got a pretty good setup, I think. Another Saturday Night Live guy, a writer, not a. Oh, I didn't do this. OCD. Writer that is out there and doing stuff on his own now. John Mulaney. I love John Mulaney. I think he's very funny. I think his most recent plastic surgery was unfortunate, but he's still a funny man.
And his SNL 50 sketch was way too long.
Way too long. He loves
that's
his
John
musical
Mulaney.
sketches. That is. But did you watch his Netflix show called Live from LA that was on about a year ago, I think?
That's when he would. I saw clips.
Yeah.
And maybe one episode.
It was so strange and wonderful. It was like they gave him a lot of money and he said, do what you want to do. It was like set up when it opened up. It was set up like The Tonight Show. There was a monologue and a desk, and his announcer was Richard Kind, and they did the show, but it was just so off the hinges. Well, they're bringing it back on Wednesday nights for another 12, and these are live episodes, no digital delay, nothing. Goes out over the air live for 12 weeks, and his quote was about doing the show: "It was a total blast, and it was one of those shows that neither Netflix nor I really needed to do. I never wanted to host a talk show, and they were getting them out of the talk show game, so this was a perfect moment to do this." So he is absolutely just, running with the money. They put out a trailer. And here is, this is sort of the mood of the show, because this should be really serious. But instead, it's a long shot by drone.
Let me know when you're tight enough that I should say the line. Is someone going to cue me when I just want to be tight enough that saying the line makes sense?
They're not promoting anything right now.
Get it? Okay, in. Everybody's Live is on Wednesdays Live. Okay, so I waited at 20.
So that's it. That's the entire trailer for the show. And it's kind of like the people that would buy a Super Bowl commercial and it would be a really bad, purposeful Super Bowl commercial.
Like they spend all the money on
Getting the thing.
time. Yeah.
Well,
and there's, but it's crazy. That's just,
They can't show a trailer because it hasn't happened yet.
it's live. Yeah.
So they want to make the whole thing look live, including the ad for it.
They should at least show his face. I mean, he's got some recognition. But I'll be watching every Wednesday night. I thought it was great. They did things like earthquakes and palm. They did a whole show on palm trees, I believe, which was actually more exciting than you thought. Trouble for Jimmy. Trouble for the Buffalo Bills. They're building a new stadium. And by the way, apparently you don't call them season tickets anymore. You call them personal seat licenses.
Yes, PSLs.
PSLs, and they are not selling very many of their 58,000 353 PSLs. That's a lot of season tickets for a 62,000 seat
The way
stadium.
a PSL works is you have to buy the PSL in order to buy the tickets.
So wait, so you're paying twice?
You pay twice. You pay a license fee and then you pay a ticket fee, from what I understand.
That's crazy.
It's
so every game? So you buy the license and then you're also paying for the tickets?
So it's like reserving the seat, right?
The license is like, and it's your license that you can then pass on to family members
But they're still getting you for tickets
and then
every
from that
year.
You have to buy tickets as well.
Yeah, prices have been up 126% in Buffalo.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
And the I don't know
Is it going to help them win?
They did pretty good this year.
They're never winning a Super Bowl.
But not good enough.
Well, what's really good is that the Buffalo Bills have bought a PSL in the end zone, so they can actually have people there all the time to catch the ball. The tickets cost for the individual seat for year from $5,000 to $50,000 a year, but it doesn't say how much the PSL license is. So it's going to be much more than that, I suppose. Do you have a PSL? Josh has is it Section 336 where you have your season
where
tickets?
I am. The Orioles do not do PSLs. I am a Birdland member, is what they call
Birdland. I like that.
What do you get for being a Birdland member?
I get to give them money for tickets. And I think I earn points. I earn points that I can trade in for bobbleheads or like a meet and greet and stuff like that.
Do they have a good name for the points? Like, are they Boog points or anything?
No, they are
Palmer points.
Birdland rewards is what they're called.
What's the best thing you've gotten from Birdland Rewards?
Because I'm out of town most of the time, I normally cash them in for either upgraded seats when I go up for a game,
right?
Or I've grabbed a bobblehead or like a free hat and stuff like that.
Okay, so it pays to be a member.
I do use the reward points.
I think that's really funny.
And remember, free Coke refills this year at Camden Yards.
That's huge.
That's good.
That
is huge. Worth going to a game just for that.
Robert, let's go to a game.
Okay.
This year. Okay. I'll drive and you can drink beer. That'll be the way we do it.
Cool.
Finally, I hold in my hand the final story. TikTok is full of such smart people. And I love going on TikTok because you can find the smart people and they love being smart on camera. Like these people. Some city folks wanted a mountain cabin that was on a mountain. That's what they put when they searched it. And they rented their mountain cabin in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, which is, I believe, close to where Dollywood is. And it's on a mountain in the Great Smoky Mountains. And they posted their reaction video where the wife turns to the camera and says, "Let me show you what we're dealing with." And then she shows the driveway, which is indeed quite slopey because it's in the mountain. She says, "This whole mountain we have to drive through, everything is uphill." So their complaint is that their mountain cabin is too mountainous. So needless to say, a lot of people gave them grief. The fact that they don't want to drive uphill when they take a mountain cabin. Also, they complained that the sun was too hot, the water was too wet, and we'd like a return because, yes, we're idiots. That's how they settled it. And so if you book a mountain cabin, expect slopes. It's going to be a mountain. Or go to Kansas. No mountains there. And Robert, you deal with the mountains in West Virginia.
Every
you get
day.
mad when you have to go uphill?
Yep. But I have to walk though. They can drive.
Well, when driving in West Virginia, I just like to count the Dollar Generals.
Yeah.
Oh, there's plenty of them. There certainly are. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Robert, you're up there. You're dealing with the mountains. You're dealing with the snow. I just got to tell you this. It's better in the Bahamas. Did you know this?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Tell me about it.
All aboard, everybody. The TMOS Love Boat, our first ever party on the high seas. Join the Mike O'Mara Show crew for an unforgettable weekend aboard the stunning MSC Seaside. I know this is a big deal because Carrie not only went on Facebook, she wrote, and I quote, "So excited." I don't get that on Trek for Work. I know, right?
Oh, good.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I didn't see that about Vegas.
Nor would you. But she also didn't do so excited before we went and saw DEAN Z.
Yeah.
We set sail from Miami Beach on Friday, December 5th, kicking off the evening with an exclusive TMOS cocktail party. Saturday, we can explore Nassau by day and then enjoy a live TMOS show that night. It'll be great. It's going to be very interactive and what do we call an intimate presentation?
Engaging.
Yeah, tricky.
Yeah,
though.
engaging.
But then Sunday we relax or recover on a private island. Then you get we'll battle it out in TMOS Team Jeopardy that night. I've written some of the questions already, Josh.
And I've prepared the buzzers.
So many states and
we'll
capitals. Then Monday, we return to Miami with Memories of a Lifetime. Your voyage includes the beverage package, $50 in onboard credit, the Wi-Fi package, plus an exclusive Love Boat gift bag from TMOS. You put up a picture of some of the items.
I did. I am so excited for the gift bag.
Me too.
Because for one, I don't need to package them up. The company we're working with is going to pack them. But I get to pick out everything in the gift bag and mail it to them to put together. And then this gift bag is waiting in your stateroom when you get to your cabin.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's so cool. And of course, you get access to all the TMOS events. I love checking into a room that has something there.
Oh, and I had a listener this week message me an idea for the gift bag.
Yeah?
And my response was, how did I not think about this? This is going in the gift bag.
But it's a secret for now?
No, I can unveil it.
Okay.
TMOS magnets. So you can put it on. You know how when you go on a cruise, they put them all on the
Yes!
door?
Yes!
So I'm going to find some TMOS, maybe Love Boat magnets that you can put on your door and then take home and put on your car.
That you can eat. Just remember that balconies sell out fast, so you want to book right now. You can lock in your room with a small deposit, and they also have an easy payment plan. This is months away and a great way to have something to look forward to and play with us here at TMOS. So book now at tmoscruise.com. If you have questions, go to cruise@mikeomerashow.com. This is huge, so don't miss out. Reserve your cabin at tmoscruise.com. They can access it at the website, right?
Yes. And there's a great phone number on there if for some reason you don't like dealing with websites.
Yeah.
They've got great customer support. And next person that books, Robb will give them a wake-up call in the morning.
I will. You know what? I will come knocking on your door with marmalade and toast. Robert, the plan is now for you to go along, isn't it?
I didn't know about that. So
yeah, well,
awesome.
Mom
I'll
is
see everyone
excited.
there. Yeah,
Mom
I'll
is
see everyone
excited.
there.
Yeah. So speaking of which,
I'm surprised. I thought Robert would sign up when he heard drink package and casino.
Yeah.
Well, Robert has
I'm
a drink
in.
package at West Virginia. I believe, don't we figure that into your tuition, right?
Yeah.
It's the only school on the East Coast with a drink package. The last time we all got together was the Las Vegas show, and we unveiled our TMOS Hall of Famers for 2024. Now, it's been busy, but the trophies have finally arrived, and I'd like to show them to you now, if I may.
For the, I imagine we're going to give out trophies again on the cruise.
Yes.
Do you think maybe this year we can have the trophies with us?
If you carry them, sure.
That's a good idea.
I'll bring them on.
Yeah, I've had to transport trophies many times. Not a fan.
I don't like that we're handing these out, that we are mailing these out in March from an event in November.
Well, you know what? It was a busy time.
Oh, that's a big trophy.
That is big.
I thought we were getting like plaques.
No.
All right.
So these are beautiful, and they arrived yesterday. And
They
all
might
of
not
them,
allow me to bring that on the cruise ship.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Looks like a weapon.
Look at this. This is for Doug Carlson. It says the Mike O'Mara Show honors Doug Carlson, 2024 TMOS Listener Hall of Fame. And of course, you know that Doug loves his animal husbandry, so we have a horse with a horseshoe and the beautiful trophy. I think it's just a lovely thing. Shining gold, and yes, there is a horse with a horseshoe. Nothing to do with Doug. He smokes meat, but not horses. So that's the first one.
But we do have a derby party coming up.
That's true, and
So there's a little crossover.
Yeah, that is some crossover. This next one, this is even prettier because it went with the. I didn't know about the bubble wrap, so please excuse me as I open this.
Added value.
Yes, this
Bubble wrap.
This is very special because this says the Mike O'Mara Show honors Dennis Murphy. This was a very big award. The 2024 Gene Herschel Omeritarian Award. And by the way, try to get the word Omeritarian past the spell check on a trophy website. And what it is, it's a beautiful horse's ass. Right on top, just the half of the horse that's the back, and an eagle, of course. So congratulations, Dennis. Which
I like that one.
My last trophy for the Kelseys, Steve and Janet, great people, and this is, I have to admit, it's not fair because this really does focus on Steve more than Janet, but they both were named honorary winners here. So what we have, it's not going to be scratched, to celebrate Steve's love of dance, ballet slippers. Which are just lovely and will always remind me of Steve Kelsey.
I do like that we let you go pick out the trophies on your own.
By the way, they don't stock a Santa Claus anymore, just so you know. And it reads, The Mike O'Mara Show honors Steve Kelsey and Janet Frost Kelsey, 2024 TMOS Listener Hall of Fame. Congratulations to all recipients. And yes, the trophies are bigger this year because the stakes are bigger.
Well, and the months that have passed, they've grown.
Yeah, I invested in an 8-inch trophy, and then I put it's a crypto trophy, and it appreciated, and it became 20 inches tall.
Oh, I was thinking more of those sponges you drop in water. You just let them soak for a while, and they grew.
A huge dinosaur? Exactly. So I want to say congratulations to our Hall of Famers. You know that you are all loved and appreciated, and while you had to wait for the trophy, your patience was rewarded. We'll be back in a second to talk about my wife.
And
Gambling.
I need photos of those displayed when you receive them.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got to do that. So we will be right back. I've got music for this. Because
it's Charlie.
It's Charlie's Choice coffee, Robert. We actually got our Charlie's Choice in the mail.
Charlie's Choice!
And I made a pot, and it's outstanding.
Even if you don't drink coffee, just the smell is wonderful.
But I mean, the only way I can explain it is that it tastes the way you want coffee to taste. Perfectly. Coffee can be a disappointment. This is not. It's so important to have coffee in your life. And, coffee, you got to have it. And you don't just drink coffee, you experience it. And what we know is that we want to give you the best, and that, of course, is Charlie's Choice.
Charlie's Choice!
No, we really do think it's one of the best.
Yeah.
Very impressed with it. And next shipments go out tomorrow. So if you want get your order in today.
They roast it. I think I got mine 4 days after it was roasted. Honestly, that's how fast they turn it around. It smells so good. Comes right to your door. If you open your mailbox, you're going to know the day you got it because it smells amazing. These are the finest beans from Brazil and Guatemala with a rich and balanced cup that has smooth caramel, deep cocoa, and sweet honey tasting notes. Perhaps most importantly, it's brewed in small batches. Roasted in small batches. So the quality is superior. You can order one bag. You can subscribe. That's another thing is that you never want to run out of coffee. So if you subscribe, it's always at your door. Try it, Robert, in your TMOS coffee mug while listening to the Mike O'Mara Show.
Well, that's the best part.
That is the best part.
We're selling it ourselves.
It's the best part. Charlie agrees. So it's Charlie's Choice.
Charlie's Choice!
It's absolute heaven in a mug. So get yours at the TMOS store at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Start your day right with Charlie's Choice because it's good to the last sip. Isn't it, Charlie?
It's good to the last sip. Yummy! Charlie's Choice!
Charlie was the first thing we did on our show that Robert really thought was funny.
Yeah, I remember that when I was little.
He loved it. So we have a wonderful sponsor that comes and goes, and we do love when they stay with us, and they are called Prize Picks. It's an application that you put on your phone, and
they will be with us next month.
Yeah, I'm saying that they've been with us.
Actually, in a few weeks. Yeah.
They've been with us, and they come and go. But we love them. Their interface is great if you want to bet. I have made a few bets on the app and not done so well. But Carrie, my wife, and Robert's mother signed up, and she got like $20 in free play because she used TMOS or something like that. Do you remember the deal, Robert?
I'm not aware of the deal, but that seems pretty typical.
It's something like that.
So with that in mind, she went in and she's betting. She first started betting on football games. That's how long ago it was. And she was excited because we're watching the football games.
Right.
And then
it definitely makes watching football better.
Oh, 100%.
You then care so much more.
Yeah.
It also makes it so much worse when it doesn't
can make
hit.
it worse.
Yeah, yes.
So she invested her $20. And what is she up to now, Robert? Because now she's betting hockey and parlays and basketball.
She's up a couple $1,000s. What's
How
really
is she so good at sports gambling?
Okay,
I thought
this
this was
is-
like she went on a hot run at Hollywood Casino.
No. These are games. These are
she's really
individual
good.
games.
But to take some credit away from her, like during school, one of her TAs, he's what in the betting world is called like a capper. It's someone who like sells their picks because they're really good at betting.
Oh, he's a tout. He's like Larry King used to be. Larry King was a racetrack tout.
Okay, so she's getting advice.
Yeah. So this guy, since they spend like they're together all day, so he'll help her with the picks, and then the biggest part is like managing the money she has in her account. So like how much to bet on this. So she's like like making sure she's guaranteed to make money. Pretty much like the best, at least to the best chances she can. I've been tailing the same bets, and this week, I just yesterday I withdrew $500 from the same bets. So
Okay,
I'd
you
like
should
in
be
on
clear.
this.
That means
Yeah.
you won $500.
Right.
yeah.
Start sending me those bets as well. I went in on this money making scheme.
It can't miss. It's so funny. I'll be, in the living room after dinner, and where I'm doing what I do. I'm watching like a 1948 movie with Greer Garson, and I'll hear Carrie go, "Yes." I say, "What?" She says, "This guy just scored, and I won another $80 or something." I'm like,
Yeah, because Prize Picks is all about picking individual people.
"Yeah,
Yeah.
She can do it. She's absolutely." But here's the thing, Robert. Gambling, and I know a little bit about addiction. Gambling is an addiction, and it's great that she's won this money. It's
Are you worried
truly
about the
exciting.
turn?
The turn will happen, and I keep telling her, I said, "Carrie, it's important. Don't chase your losses." And she said, "What losses?"
Yeah.
So I just have to be
no
aware.
big losses yet?
None
No.
yet. So I have to be aware.
Yeah. What she's doing, and I think this is smart, but I totally agree that it's addicting. But what she's doing is just signing up for all of those books, like Prize Picks, for
the free
example,
plays.
getting all the free play, and then just using that money. So then everything she wins just goes straight to her, which is good.
Can't miss.
She doesn't
Can't
really
miss.
watch. She doesn't really watch the games either. So I don't think she's getting hit with that like huge dopamine boost of like watching your bet hit like as you're watching the game. Like she's just kind of listening to her coworker. And
She put the dope in dopamine. She's excited. She likes all this stuff, but she stresses about money as much as anyone I've ever met.
that's what surprises me
And
the
that's
most.
why it's weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally last night, she texted me. It was like 11:30. Like I'm getting ready to go to bed. It was right after the Caps game, and she's like asking me for advice, and I'm like, honestly, I wouldn't take anything. Like you're up a lot of money, just like
I'd been asleep for 2.5 hours, and
Yeah.
she's texting Robert to get the bet touted. So we'll see what happens, and I'm all for Prize Picks because it's helped her win a lot of money and have a lot of fun. But
yeah, I think Prize Picks is probably the best app if you're trying to make like parlays, like with the player, because I think their thing is they only have the prop bets, like the player bets.
Right.
So like with that, their interface for parlays is the best. So I mean, it's a good app.
it is, and just like Carrie, sign into Prize
So
Picks, and you will win $4,000.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
So that Sunday on the cruise, we'll just all meet up with Carrie at the sports book.
Yeah.
She'll probably set up a stand like Robert's table in the mountain land.
Yeah, and it'll be football season during the cruise too. So
Oh my God, that's right. We'll
it's
see
gonna be
Carrie.
awesome.
She'll be down to like 90 pounds, drawn face,
Yeah.
just trying to get through all the gambling. So yes, Carrie, we care. Please get out before the turn and don't
Yeah.
chase your losses.
Oh, and
Please.
I care too. Send me those bets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let Josh take the risk.
I want. Forget risk. There is what risk?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
What losses? You can't miss.
It's a lock.
This gambling is so easy. Oh, before we go, and this is going to be fun because today's beautiful video has been prepared for us by Josh. So I get to genuinely react to it, which is exciting to me. But before that, I have to touch on, we didn't mention it yesterday, Robert. We have an exciting new contest on the show, and it's called Skin to Win.
No. It's.
Oh, this is Stager.
Are you getting more entries?
I did get entries. Robert, this is a great contest, and I'll explain it to you now. It is really great. I went and saw Kevin this week, and I had a skin tag under my arm. Wait, it gets better. And so he froze it off, but it hasn't fallen off yet. So what people are doing as it's dying, I look at it every day. If you can guess the day that the skin tag falls off.
I don't want to do this game. This is gross.
How about, hold on, has Carrie picked the day?
No, she doesn't. She doesn't pick anything. She won't pick the skin tag. She won't pick a day. But here's the most exciting thing,
on
Robert.
Prize Picks?
No. Yeah.
Here's the most exciting.
She did
part.
pick a day. It'd be correct.
Yeah, of course it would. Well, Vinny would have to know about it.
Yeah.
Oh, there I said his name. Whoops. Robert, if you pick the day it falls off, and this is contingent on whether or not I find it. If you pick it and I find it, you win the skin tag.
Oh.
And that's why it's called Skin to Win. It can't miss.
That's so gross. Could you imagine
so
telling
excited?
that? Could you imagine telling that to like Gail?
Oh, my Aunt
Shay
Gail.
Show? Yeah, like that's so
My
gross.
Aunt Gail has suffered not any gross things, and she would literally just hang up on me if I said something gross.
I wish I could hang up on you.
Yeah, I would too.
All right, so I'm just going to real quick go through the entries so far. If you hear your name, you know you're locked in.
All right, these are the people to put on a list.
A list, yeah. Yaz Brinton, wonderful. We love Yaz. She says the drop date is 3/8/25, which would be this Saturday. And then she says, may the odds be in my favor.
Be a good birthday gift,
This is a disappointing list because this is going to be people I like.
Shannon
That
Fisher
now I feel.
says March 16th. One more reason to celebrate the day of a Robb Renaissance. So she's picking the 3-year anniversary of my sobriety, which probably, if I had done that sooner, I might not have a skin tag. Jim Hoffman writes a paragraph. Jim writes, I hope I win the generous grand prize. My family lacks heirlooms. What with the recent fires in California we have suffered in recent years, I have nothing to pass on to my heirs. A skin tag from a noted actor, and this is in quotation marks, internet-style entertainer, close quotation marks, such as yourself would not necessarily help my family should I win, but having multiple children and the potential for only one prize, the sudden realization that 3 of my 4 offspring certainly will suffer as the reality of their dearest father has nothing to leave behind, only softened by the fact, like you, they can enjoy a skin tagless life.
I hate everything about this.
This is really bad. This guy is not willing to win because he picked January 7th, 2029. So it's going to hang around for 4 years? Yeah. And he says, just in case
I'm now rooting for.
Yeah.
Just in case I win a long life, I would hate to be stuck with your tag. No offense. A guy named Bobby Ferris writes, Bernadette Ferris, sorry. Bernadette Ferris from Albuquerque writes, skin tag will fall off March 9th. Woohoo! If I win, I don't want it. So
Good.
I think if someone wins and we don't, I'll send them something else. And then Willie Preston, bless your heart, Willie. Best game in ages. Who needs swag when you get tag? I'm giving it a week, March 10th. Good luck. We're all counting on you. So if you want to get in, all you have to do is email your guess to Robb at MikeO'MaraShow.com as we play.
I'm not going to play.
No, you're not?
I withdraw myself.
Yeah. I don't like anything about this, but I think I've got an idea.
What's that?
And I think all those people will be fine with not getting the skin tag.
Okay, so you're going to give something else?
Yeah, we can give something else. As long
Will you
as
give
you do
them?
this
Are
part
you going to
for
give
me.
them bird bucks or whatever?
You're seriously going to give them it?
Sure.
No, we will
That's
give
so
them
gross.
we'll give them a TMOS T-shirt or something. If you then take that skin tag, put it in a nice frame or shadow box.
Yes.
And mail it to Mike as a gift from a listener that he has to open up on the air.
That would be so, because he's not listening today.
He's not going to listen to this.
Josh, now you no longer hate the bit.
No,
now you love the bit.
No.
if this bit ends with Mike opening up the skin tag, I will give away a TMOS T-shirt to the winner of this stupid bit.
All right, now we all have something to... And remember, just like when we talked about the cruise on the bonus show, keep this a secret. Keep this a secret. And we're still accepting your entries at Robb at MikeO'MaraShow.com. In the subject line, please write skin to win. Are you ready to do some beautiful video, Josh?
I am. We'll see. I'm excited because my algorithm is different than yours, different than
True.
Mike's.
Very true.
So we'll see.
Do you get any skin tag videos?
I do. I will now.
Do you?
Sure. I host them. We'll be back. It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Yeah. Look for skin tag videos on the all-new Cake and Cookies YouTube website. I guess it is pretty gross. Do you need a little something to help you fall asleep at night, Robert? I know you keep weird hours, college kid. Well, you can rest easy because this podcast is sponsored by Soul. The team at Soul just launched their new nightcap gummies, which are similar to their world famous, and I'd had these before, Sleepy gummies. But nightcap gummies also have 3 milligrams of THC for people who require something just a little stronger to go to sleep. I actually talked to my doctor about gummies the last time I was in. And as someone who has, issues in the past with drinking, he said these are, as long as you're not popping them 15 a day, these are fine. Do they help you sleep? I said, yes.
I stop at 10.
He says, it's 15 on the boat though, right?
Oh, yeah, yes.
But he says, does it help your shoulder pain? I said, yes. He said, then do it. These things are great. You take them about maybe 45 minutes before you go to bed, and you will sleep beautifully and restfully through the night. And I don't know if it's just me, but I have some pretty great dreams. It's fun. It's like exciting to sleep with the influence. Also, something else that I'm into now is their out-of-office sparkling beverages.
Oh, I love this raspberry lemonade.
It's so good.
It's the perfect evening, turn on TV and drink that.
It tastes good. So hit snooze on crappy sleep and prepare for a great night. Go to getsoul.com and use code TMOS for 30% off your order. That's 30% off your order using code TMOS. Getsoul.com and TMOS for 30% off.
Hey, I like that. Some beautiful video.
Cherry time.
Oh, big things are happening.
Big things are always happening on Curl, K-I-R-L, with music. Curl Instant News, Curl Features and Sports, and you can plan your day with our weather reports. Stay in tune and don't miss a second on Channel 1070 Curl, K-I-R-L.
Chosen on purpose because Mike would never have the patience to sit through a 30-second radio jingle. But remember, know the weather with a weather report on Curl. I hand it over to Josh. Josh, entertain us.
Robert, you mentioned all those mountains you got to walk up and down going to class.
Yeah.
Do you ever have trouble when it snows?
Oh, yeah. That's the worst because you actually can't do it sometimes.
It happened to snow this weekend in China, and there's a big set of stairs.
Oh, no.
Wow!
Yeah.
That guy, it was 3 flights.
That guy went down 3 flights of snowy stairs.
And, I can remember when I was a kid and I'd play in the snow and sled and do stuff like that. We were like indestructible. I mean, you could go off jumps where you had hang time and you'd land and you'd feel fine. If I were to shovel snow today, I couldn't get up the next day.
Slip on one piece of ice, like walking out to shovel the car, and I'm down for the day.
You're ruined. You're absolutely ruined.
She hit about 36 stairs.
The worst fall I ever had in the snow was when we lived in McLean, Robert. We had that big driveway, very wide, and I got out of my car. It was dark, and I slipped. I must have been very enthusiastic to get inside because I slipped so hard that I did see my foot silhouetted against the moon before I landed. I wish I had a videotape of that classic fall. But yeah, I'd send that guy some Advil. Do something. That's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it stays cold for so long here that like the stairs just look like a complete 90-degree angle. Like it's just
and dirty,
straight.
gross.
It's gross snow and it's real hard, thick ice, and it's not.
So
not
that's
good.
why you're not going to classes?
Yeah,
Not
that's
good
why.
job.
That's why.
That's valid. I think that's valid. Very good.
All right. Next up, the videos on the internet right now that annoy me are the ones where people think it's nice to make a prank on people that work at like Walmart or Home Depot.
Yeah, I don't like
There's
that.
one going around now where you get the employee to unlock the bathroom saying your friend is stuck and it's just some stranger in the bathroom.
That's funny.
No, that's funny.
except you're putting the employee in a really awkward situation.
Yeah, but it's
it's funny till it's you.
Normally I hate those.
Right.
But I saw one last night where I was like, I would actually want to try this.
Okay.
And it is, have you seen those giant cages full of balls at Walmart?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Have you
yeah.
ever wanted to climb inside?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you do, you have to climb in from the top.
Of course.
Seen the ball pit shit be done before, but I've never seen it this high before. I'm big time EM and I don't give a fuck.
Oh, he's very enthusiastic.
He's
So he's getting into He destroyed it.
he destroys it.
Those
So I feel bad for the
250
worker.
him.
Yeah.
Yes, the
Well,
worker
was
is
he a worker because he had on a safety vest?
No.
I think the other guy was like in
The
the
other
back.
guy had his little radio and was trying to call for help because they're also, it's awkward for these employees because there's so many crazy people out there. You're being told don't interact, wait for security.
When I worked for Safeway, we were instructed never to try to stop a shoplifter. Just let them go.
Yeah, it
Because
was
there's
like that when I worked at Walmart for like 2 months, and it was like that. Yeah.
Robert, were you? What was your active position at Walmart? I remember that it was a lot of you
It
just
was
wandering around.
Yeah, it was stocking in the clothing department. So I would just like fold clothes and like make sure stuff looked neat. Like
Yeah,
a lot of
because
people.
that's why people go to Walmart. They
Yeah.
want things to look neat.
Yeah. No, it was a BS job.
Worst
Yeah.
job you've ever had?
Yeah, I'd probably say it was.
Did you ever get to be the greeter?
No, I never got to do anything
I think
really
that'd be
kind of
that'd-
interesting.
That would be the best job for me.
Hey,
How's it
Hand out
going?
Stickers.
Hey, buddy. That would be my catchphrase. Hey, buddy. Are you here for neat clothes? Go see my son in
Yeah.
menswear.
Now, Robert, now that you have this nice fancy microphone, it's time for you to start your own podcast.
yeah.
Absolutely.
There's a new food podcast out of Maryland. Have you heard of the Maryland Foodie Boys?
Of course I have.
I've not heard of them.
All right. They are
These
the
guys
hottest
are
thing.
ridiculous. Dad, I think I texted you saying like something about like not or they need to put like a lock on podcast mics or something.
Yeah.
I believe I sent something
So
like this to
these
you.
are
Yeah,
some
you probably have.
these are some middle school boys who are doing. They've got their hot takes about food.
So they're kids.
They're kids.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And here they are discussing pizza.
Okay.
Topping on a pizza. I'm just if I had to choose, it'd probably be like
He looks like the Stranger
pepperoni,
Things
but I'm not a big, I'm just
Stranger
a regular
Things.
cheese guy. I just do cheese. I don't do
They
pepperoni.
all
I just
need
do
haircuts.
cheese. I don't really like pepperoni. It's kind of a weird taste.
I'll do pepperoni, but same thing. Like,
Yeah. A lot of people are big pepperoni fans.
Very good
meat lovers,
insight.
too. I have meat lovers go.
I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of like the sausage in general. I've never had a meat lovers.
That's thrilling stuff.
The hot take is they like cheese pizza.
Yeah,
With no
and
meat on
and
it.
pepperoni tastes funny. The other hot take is that half of them aren't using their microphones right.
Yeah, no, they're not using microphones right. They can't see past the hair in front of their eyes.
No, they
Yeah.
can't. And that one guy, the curly-headed guy, he wants desperately to be liked by the other foodie boys because he says, "Yeah, I don't really like sausage."
Rob, these kids, I don't know how they do it. They have 60,000 followers on TikTok.
It's literally
After
all
today-
people following them because of how bad it is. Like
After today, 60,001 because
Yeah.
I'm there.
No,
you guys.
I watch
Sorry, go
them.
ahead.
I watch them. They're
I
entertaining.
guess.
What,
What other
guess
foods
their
have they
favorite-
reviewed?
Guess what their favorite kind of buffalo wings are?
Probably barbecue.
Buffalo.
I just saw a video from them and it like blew up because of how ridiculous it was. They did a album review for Drake's new album that came out.
Well, you can't eat that.
Well,
Yeah,
guess
that's
how
not food.
guess how many of them listened to the album?
I'll
They-
guess zero.
Zero listened to the album, and their opinions were, well, I heard it was good from comments on TikTok, so I'm
Yeah.
just going to go with that.
They
and
don't
then the
look
other
like-
kid's like, well, I don't know. I haven't seen very much about it online, so
They don't
probably
look like
I don't
they don't
like
look
it.
like Drake fans to me.
Yeah.
Although
But
I know that
Drake
if I
looks
was,
like a fan of them, though.
if I was 11 or hey, hot take. If I was 11 or 12 and one of my friends said, "I don't really like sausage," not what I heard.
No, they have to be like private school kids or something.
Of
'cause
course.
they got fancy microphones. They've got all this setup.
They got a
Someone's
whole
invested-
studio, yeah.
Yeah,
Mom
someone's
bought it.
investing in the foodie boys.
Hey, maybe mom is a gambler and won all that money.
That's where
picking the
she's putting her
parlay.
money.
Some
Exactly.
well, that's the thing. Some parent heard these kids talking while they were playing video games about how they like cheese pizza and decided it should be a podcast.
Yeah, and that never works unless it's cake and cookies. The worst.
All right. How do you deal with a spider in your house? If you got to catch a spider.
This is funny.
Yeah.
One time, this is funny, Robert. I'm not doing this to embarrass you just because it sets it up.
No, I was a little kid, so I don't even
There was
care.
a pretty big spider on the steps, and Robert texted Mom and me, or Carrie and me, and said, there's a big spider on the steps and I don't want to go downstairs. And my reply was a picture of a tarantula. And he texted back, not funny, Dad.
I do I do remember like being really little and it was just like on the step and I was so scared to go down, but I was so thirsty. So I just like jumped down that dad, like from that last, or I guess that first level of the step all the way to the
because it's not a spiral, but it goes down, turn right, then turn
yeah.
left.
So I jumped down all those steps because I didn't want to get near it, and I like fell.
I would have loved to have heard that, but spiders. I will usually scoop and flush. I think that's a pretty.
So here's someone who has a great plan where they're going to scoop it.
All right.
So they've got it caught.
Oh, with a plastic piece
with a plastic thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's a big guy too.
Yeah,
it's a big one.
Oh shit! Oh.
Oh no! It made a break for it.
Now look, he's got it again.
Oh no! Yeah, always use non-breakable foodware when you're catching a spider.
I also just like totally just flinched when the spider jumped.
Yeah, it's true. I saw it happen.
There's great videos going around where they put a virtual spider on your face, and they'll turn the camera and say, "What do you think of this?" And then the person freaks out and runs into the wall or something because the spider's on them.
That'd be good, Robert, for school. A good school prank.
Mm-hmm.
You could set up. Will there be pranks right before graduation where, like, I've seen this on.
That's a great prank to do on a Walmart worker.
That would be a good one, yeah.
Yes.
When you graduate,
the ball pit.
Yeah.
This is fun. At WVU, you don't prank the other fraternity, you prank the Walmart worker.
Yeah.
Don't prank the greeter. He's doing his best.
What you should do is when you go up there to get a diploma, pull your phone out like you're going to take a selfie with the guy handing it to you. So the spider's on his face.
Now
he'll smack himself with the diploma, maybe.
Now we'll have a nice video for the for this segment.
Yeah, and then Robert, grab the microphone and say, "I like cheese pizza."
Yeah.
Do we have one more?
Not a big fan of sausage.
Let's go with one more video.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's go with. Do you like Shark Tank?
Yes, I love Shark Tank.
I watch Shark Tank every week.
Mm-hmm.
And
a lot of people think I look like Barbara Corcoran.
Yeah, sure. And I saw Mr. Wonderful share this yesterday.
Okay.
About if Chris Farley came on the Shark Tank.
Oh God. Okay.
Next up are entrepreneurs who believe their product is cooler than the rest.
Our brake pads are made with a non-corrosive polyplate.
Okay, so wait. You went so over the top with nonsense, it is everything but a legitimate product. And for those reasons, I'm out.
What my associate is trying to say is that our new brake pads are really cool. You're not even going to believe it.
Where is your proof of this? What study do you have?
Hey, I tell you what. You can take a good look at a butcher's ass by sticking your head up there. But wouldn't you rather take his word for it?
I'm out. I find the presentation is exhausting and complicated.
No, I mean, you can get a good look at a T-bone by sticking your head up a butcher's ass, but then, no, it's got to be your bull.
Wow. You guys want this or American Gladiators?
Gladiators. I can't do this anymore, man. My head's about to explode. My whole life sucks. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. My dad just died. We just killed Bambi. I'm out here getting my ass kicked, and every time I drive down the road, I want to jerk the wheel into a goddamn bridge embankment.
You're a get the out of here.
We'll be in touch.
That is nothing short of brilliant. All that Tommy Boy stuff edited just like the real show. Oh, it's great.
It's edited up together perfect.
Yeah, so check it out. And, I like my David Spade. That's excellent stuff. Robert, thank you so much for making time for us today.
It was a pleasure.
I hope you have a good time. You can keep the microphone. This was really just an audition to whether or not we're going to let
cheese pizza.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't like sausage. So remember, you can go to MikeO'MaraShow.com to get your Charlie's Choice coffee, which is most excellent, and also your cruise tickets for December. Remember, you can put a small deposit on and talk to them about a payment plan. We really want to see you on the cruise. It's going to be a blast. As Mike said yesterday, too much to do, almost. It is such a gorgeous ship that we really want to hang out with you. And Jimmy's on, is that May 3rd?
May 3rd.
May 3rd, we'll be at Jimmy's for the Kentucky Derby party. Robert, it'd be a good chance for you to come down.
Yeah.
Mom is going to bet it all on the number 7 horse.
Yeah.
And then after the Kentucky Derby, you'll be able to recognize us because I'll be wearing a barrel. Because I will have lost everything, including my clothes. But yeah, you can catch all this information on our website, MikeO'MaraShow.com. Thank you, Josh.
And
thank you, Robert.
Bonus show tomorrow.
Bonus show tomorrow, a good one, and we will talk to you then. Mike, come back.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
I'm over here now. Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.